In last day, we are discussing about supply, isn't it? Yes, supply. We got a main idea related to the supply. Okay, we already discussed about demand, yes, which is represent the consumers' activities. Okay, but in here we are going to represent the activity of producer. Okay, activity of producer or seller. In practical manner, you can identify the activity of the sellers and producer can be changed. Yes. But in economics, we are going to discuss these two parties together. Okay. Because if you are going to discuss about the producer, seller, retailer, wholesaler, their activities, their preference can be changed. So we cannot identify this. That is why we are going to set the name as supplier, who represent the producer, retailer, wholesaler, or any person who supply the goods and services to the market. We call it supply. Okay. But in after this lesson, we can discuss about the producer and their activity. Then you can identify the difference very easily. But in this case, we are going to discuss about supply. Okay. So we have to identify what's the meaning of supply. There are different types of various prices are there. Okay, price can be 5, 10, something like that. According to the various prices, the quantity of supply, also can be changed. So we can identify the supply mean the various supply amount related to the various prices related in this particular commodity in the market. Then other things are remaining constant. So this is the meaning of supply. So then we have to identify what are the basic elements related to the supply. If you are a producer, if you are a supplier, you are going to consider about this basic factor related to the supply. First one is production ability. Production ability. So just consider if any producer got higher level of production ability, what will happen to their production amount, supply amount? It also increased. If ability in a high level, supply also can be high, isn't it? Yes. So then those are determinants. Okay. So these are the basic factors which affect to change the amount of supply related to the price changes. Okay. First one is production ability. It is very important. Okay. Just consider I am a producer, but my production ability, maximum production ability is 100 quantity for the one day, but market require 300, but I cannot supply that amount because my production ability is limited to 100. So then you can identify according to the change in prices, the ability of the production also will be a huge factor to determine the amount of the supply. Okay, so this is the first one. And next one, it is profit. Okay, next one is profit. So some organization able to grab the high level of profit. So then according to the price changes, their quantity also can be changed because of the profit. So just consider if any producer produce goods and services and sell into the market, but he's getting losses, I mean minus profit. So then he is not going to consider about the prices and any other things related to their production and the selling quantity, because already he isn't getting losses. According to that one, the amount of supply also can be changed or determine whether this producer gaining profit or minus profit. Okay. If there is no profit, sometimes some organization try to shut down the whole production process. Okay. So then profitability is one of the major factor which determine the amount of the supply. Okay. Next one is plan. Okay. Some organization planning their production ability of the production quantity to increase in the future. Already planned. So then what will happen to the supply amount? That amount also will increase because they already planned it. And again, if some organization plan to decrease the particular production, and what will happen to the market supply? Supply also can be decreased. Okay, now you identify three major factors related to the supply. Those are the main determinants. First one is production ability. Second one is profit level. Third one is the plan for the production activity. So those are the three major factors or three major determinants decide the amount of production, decide the amount of supply. Okay, so according to change all those factors, you can identify the amount of supply also can be changed. Okay, right. Let's move to the main topic related to the supply. Okay, now I am going to discuss about what are the determinants related to the supply. So what kind of factors we are going to concern before the production supply into the market, any kind of market. Okay, first one is this is determinants. Okay, already we discussed about main three factors which effect to create the amount of supply related to the various prices. Okay, do not mess with these factors and other factors. Okay, it is difference. So determinants of the supply. First one is the price of certain commodity. Price of certain commodity. Price of certain commodity. We are going to indicate that by using capital P. Okay, capital P. Second one is cost of the production. Cost of the production. We are going to indicate that by using C. Okay, just consider the production cost of the production increase, then what will happen to the amount of the supply? It reduces. Yes. If the production costs reduce, they can produce more and more commodities. Then what will happen to the supply? Supply will increase. Increase. Yes. So then now you can identify the production cost. One of the major factor which determine the amount of supply. Okay. Production cost. Third one, it is technology. Technology we are going to use to produce goods and services. We are going to represent that by using T. So we already identified two types of technology. First one is labor intensive production technology and capital intensive production technology. If you are using more and more capital comparing to the labor input in the production, we can identify your production technology is capital intensive production technology. Okay, whether it will be a accuracy, productivity, or each and everything will be depend on the production or on the organization. We cannot say that every organization who follow the capital intensive production is effective or productivity. We can say something like that. Okay. Sometimes labor intensive production methodology or technique can be very effective or very productive than capital. This will determine according to the market situation, organization management, and other factors. Okay, right. Technology. Next one, fourth one. Price of other commodities. We are going to represent that by using PN. Other commodity prices. We got two types of commodities, substitutes and complementary. We have to consider about the price of the other commodities. According to that one, we can decide the amount of the production, okay, or amount of the supply. Okay, fifth one, the expectation of producer. EX, X always lower cases, okay. So then, so just consider in practical situation, you can identify some producer produce goods and services, but their profit is in negative level, negative profit. But they continue their production. Okay. So then it depends on the expectation of the producer. So just consider about the government organization. They are getting already losses. Okay. But they are continuing their production activity. Goods and services, service production activity, they are continuing. Why? The expectation is not to get the profitability. The expectation is social welfare. So that is why they are going to continue the production with the losses. Okay. Sometimes it can be happen. Some private producer also continue their production with the minus profitability. Their target, then their expectation is different from other producers. That is why they are continuing that. Sometimes they will change their production and they will actively participate to other industry with that minus profitability. They can turn over sometime. That is why they continue their production with the minus profit. Okay, sixth one. We have to consider about the government policies or government intervention. You can identify two major interventions from the government to the producer or sellers. First one is tax. Second one is substitutes, subsidies. Tax means you have to pay according to the value of the production or number of the production. You have to pay for the government. It will be an income for the government. We call it tax income. Sometimes, according to your production, government try to pay. Government try to pay. Okay. So sometimes there's no substitute for the each and every production in the country, any economy. If you are producing essential production to the society, so this is the feature you can get the subsidy from the government. As example, in Sri Lanka, if you are producing paddy, you will get the subsidy from the government. Fertilizer subsidy, something like that one is one of the major example you can identify. Okay. If you are producing something non-essential, this is not the requirement, this is not the feature, you can get the subsidy from the government. Okay. Sometimes some production include tax and subsidy. Sometimes some production include only tax. Sometimes only subsidies. So it can be changed. Okay, right. And the next one, I mean final one. It is other factors. If I'm going to consider about the environmental factors, social, political situation, cultural factors, legal factors, rule and regulations imposed by the government. Each and every factors will determine the amount of the supply. Okay, sometimes producer has to consider about all those factors. Okay, the amount of the production and the production continuity also can be depend on the rule and regulation introduced by the government. Sometimes we have to do it. So just consider you got money, plenty of money. You cannot start the pharmacy in your city area because you have to get the license before do that. So it is major activity. Okay. So then you can identify the supply of that kind of services depend on the rule and regulation implemented by the government. Okay. So those are the factors. By using those factors, we can create the supply function. QS mean quantity of supply to the certain commodity. Equal F mean fundamental law depend on those factors. First one is P. P mean represent the price. C represent the cost of the production. T represent the technology which used to produce goods and services. PN used to represent the price of other commodities. Expectations and the government intervention, we call it G, and other factors. So this is the function, we call it supply function. It represents the relationship between quantity supply and determinants. Okay, mathematical relationship between all the factors which affect to create the supply amount in the market and the quantity of supply. So we call it supply function. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, last week you said about a number of producers thing as a factor as well. In
number of producers in the market determined to the supply amount.
To that, what do you call the as a factor after the expectations of the producers, EX, you said number of producers as well, capital N.
Yeah, it also can be included. It is not a major factor,
Okay.
but number of supply also can be determined as a factor, which because if number of sellers increase, the competition of the industry can be increased.
Oh.
Okay. So then if the competition increase, it always represent the situation of the industry, which is mainly effect to the producers or sellers to level of the profitability, market share, each and everything will be depend on the market competition. So just consider one of the industries here, they are producing X commodity. There are A business and B organization only produce. He owned 50% of the market share. This company owned 50% of the market share. So just consider one of the newcomers in here. We call it C company, and he also try to sell goods and services related to this commodity. I mean X commodity, and the price of the X commodity of this C producer is relatively low with the other commodity. So then what will happen to the market share? It can be changed. What will happen to the profitability of the A and B? It also change. Okay, so then the amount of the supply A can be changed due to the newcomers. The amount of the supply of the organization of B also can be changed due to newcomers. So just consider the A company leave from this industry. They are not going to produce goods related to the X community. Okay, they are not going to produce X community. They are going to leave from the industry. So then only two organization here. It is B and C. Now competition can be changed. the level of competition, the phase of the competition can be changed. So then according to the number of sellers, the supply amount also can be changed. Okay, it also one of the activity, but in a theoretical framework, we are not going to consider about this one much more. Okay, that is why some books not representing about the end. Some book consider about the end, but you have to identify in practical situation, N also must be one of the factor which determine the supply of amount supply. Okay, all the total market supply depend on the number of supply. Okay, right. It also affect to create the amount of the supply. It also can be changed, get the as a determinants. අපි determinants එකක් විදිහට ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක කමන්නේ එකක් ලියා ගන්න. Number of supply. N. Okay. Just include N also here. Then okay. Right. Now we have to identify the law of supply. Okay. We already discussed about what are the determinants related to the, what are the main factors which affect to amount of the supply with the various prices. First one is production ability, profit level, and the plan. Okay. Now identify the determinants of supply, and by using those determinants, we created the function of the supply. Okay. Then I'm going to discuss about law of supply. Okay, the law of supply related to the theory of supply. Okay. So we already discussed about the theory of demand and law of demand. In the demand, you identify that the relationship between price and quantity demand take negative. Okay. Negative relationship between price and quantity demand. It represented by the law of demand. When other things are remaining constant, the relationship between price of the certain commodity and the demand take inverse relationship. We call it negative relationship. If the price increase, quantity demand decrease. If the price decrease, quantity demand increase. This is the negative relationship. Okay. But in supply, we are going to identify that the relationship between price and the quantity supply is take positive. That means if the price of the commodity increase, quantity supply also increase. If the price of the commodity decrease, quantity supply also decrease. If you are thinking about what are the factors behind that kind of relationship, those are the factors. Which one? Profit. Okay. If you can produce more and more commodity with a higher level of prices, what will happen to your profitability, profit maximizing ability? It can be increased. You can earn more and more money. If the price of the commodity reduce, so then your profitability can be also reduced. In a lower prices, if you are going to produce more and more commodity, profitability is a problem. Profitability can be reduced. Then බාන්ඩ් එකේ මිල අඩු වුණාට පස්සේ කොච්චර හැදුවත් ප්‍රොෆිට් එකක් නැහැ නේද? හැබැයි බාන්ඩ් එකේ මිල වැඩි වුණාම බාන්ඩ් කීපයක් හැදුවත් ප්‍රොෆිට් එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නෙමෙයි. ඒතකොට ඔතන එන්කරේජ්මන්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා. If you are producing X commodity, the price of the X commodity increase, what happened to your encouragement? It increased. Produce more and more commodity. So if you are producing Y commodity, the price of the Y commodity reduce. Sometimes you cannot cover the production cost. Definitely discouragement will be there. You are not going to produce more and more Y commodity. You try to shift from the X commodity to another commodity. That's the tactics you can use at that point. Okay, you are not going to use X commodity because your profitability reduce. You cannot earn more and more money. You cannot cover the production cost. Then you are shifting the production. So then you can identify positive relationship between quantity of supply and prices. According to that one, we are going to create the supply equation also. Okay, right. Always supply, law of supply represent the positive relationship between price and quantity supply. Price and quantity supply. Positive relationship represent in the law of demand. So the law of supply. If you ask anyone what are the reasons behind that kind of situation, first one is the choice of the producer. Choice of the producer. You already identified that price increasement always encourage the producer. That's a choice. Price decreasement always discourage the producer. That is a choice. Okay. And the production ability. Second one is production ability. So just consider the price of the X commodity is 10 rupees. You are going to produce or supply 10. So then what will happen to your revenue? P multiplied by Q. It is 100. You can earn 100 rupees. Okay. Because the price of the X commodity is 10. You are going to sell only 10 commodities. Then your revenue will be, revenue mean the earning for the organization. We are not going to consider about the income. We are not going to say that is as an income. It is revenue. Okay. So then it is 100. So just consider price of the commodity, X commodity is just 20. The same quantity you are going to produce, same quantity. 10. Then what will happen to the, it will double. Okay. After doubling in this revenue, your product, what will happen to your production ability? Increase. So then encourage the producer to increase the production. So that is why positive relationship between this one. So just consider price of the commodity reduced to 5 rupees. Same quantity supply you. Then only 50 rupees will be the revenue. So then what happened to the production ability? Reduce. Because you cannot cover the production cost of the production. So then the ability can be reduced. According to that one, your production amount also reduce. Then separately, supply also reduce. Okay, this is parallel. So that is why we call it production ability, one of the major factor to create the positive relationship between quantity, supply, and that represent in the law of supply. Okay, so those are the two major factors. First one is choice of the producer. Second one is
production ability.
Production ability. Okay, you have to identify the relationship. Then it's very easy to identify nature of the law. Okay, right. Then now already we discussed about the supply and the major factors and the determinants of supply and the law of supply. Yeah, what are the reason behind that? Now we are going to discuss about equations related to the supply. Q is X mean the quantity of supply of X commodity equal, okay, equal A plus B P. A plus B P. Okay, QS X equal A plus B P. In here, you identify related to the law of supply, the relationship between price and quantity supply is positive. Okay, in the law of the supply. That is why plus mark in here. In demand, I'm going to remind that one. In demand, you identify that the relationship between price and quantity demand negative. That is why QD equal A minus BP, minus value. Okay, so then this plus value represent the relationship between price and quantity supply. That negative value represent the relationship between price and quantity demand. Yes, right. And then B represent the slope of the supply curve. How we can calculate the B? B equal delta QS divided by delta P. Delta QS divided by delta P. Okay, as an example, if you are going to consider about this one, this horizontal axis represent the quantity of supply, vertical axis represent the prices. Okay, the relationship between price and quantity supply plus. That is why it is look like that kind of shapes. Okay, if I am going to put the two type of value, point A and point B. This is P1, this is P2, this is Q2, and this is Q1. Okay. So in here, B mean the slope of the curve. This is the slope of the curve. Okay. The slope of the curve can be identified by using this value. From P1 to P2 value, this value is the delta P. Okay, because this is the first amount of the price, this is the second amount. This is the represent of the delta P. Okay, and these 2 points, I mean Q1 and Q2 represent the delta QS, the difference of quantity of supply. So just consider it is equal to 200, this is equal to 10, that's mean 200 divided by 10, it is just 20. 20 mean 20 equal to B, 20 mean the slope of the curve is 20. Okay, always represent this B value represent the slope of the curve, and it also effect to determine the supply elasticity. Elasticity also depend on that value. Don't worry about that one. I will discuss the supply elasticity after this section. Okay, we are going to discuss about the supply elasticity, something like you already discussed about the demand elasticity one by one, something like that. Okay. Yes. And QS represent the quantity of supply, P represent the certain value, certain prices. So then what happened to the A? A value always represent when price equal to 0, the amount of the supply. amount of supply. When price is equal to 0, the amount of supply. That's the meaning of A. If you are going to discuss about that in supply curve, just consider this is Q, this is P. So this is the supply curve. It starts from here. It starts from minus value. So A must be minus 20. That means when the price equal to 0, their quantity supply equal to minus 20. That means there are no any supply. If the price equal to 5 rupees, they start the supply. 5 is equal to 10 rupees, they supply. Just as example, okay, do not worry about the values, 50. Something like that. So as example, another example. So just consider this is the Q, and this is the prices, and this is the certain 0 point. Their supply curve is something like that. Okay. When the price equal to 0, quantity already take 20. Okay. When the price changing from the 0, quantity start from the 20. So now you can identify if price is 20. So sorry, price is just 0. Actually, there is no any supply. Actually, there is no any supply amount. When change the price from the 0, start the selling quantity from the 20. That's a theory. We already know that there is no any transaction related to the minus values. අපි දන්නවනේ minus value වලට කවදාවත් ලෝකේ ගණතුණු වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. ඒතර minus value මේක පෙන්නුවට ඒකේ පෙන්වන්නේ එයාගේ expectation එක තමයි තියෙන්නේ. ඒතර මෙතනින් උනාට කීයට දෙයක් තියෙනවා. මොකද්ද? He expect. එයා අඩුම රුපියල කියන්නේ බින්දුවට වඩා වැඩි වෙච්ච ගමන් පටන් ගන්නවා. So just consider this point. He expect minimum price 5 rupees. Hey, මෙයා පහක් වුණාමනේ දෙන්න පටන් ගන්න. රුපියල් 2 වුණා 3 වුණා දුන්නේ නැහැ. පහක් වුණාම දෙන්න පටන්. So now you can identify in here minimum expected price is 5 rupees. In here minimum expected price is 0. So that is difference. Okay, we can discuss all these things related to the calculation later. Now you have to identify those things. Now we are going to calculate we are going to derive the supply equation by using given schedule. Okay, I will write the supply schedule. Okay, you also have to copy this supply schedule in your notebook. Okay, right. This is P, this is QS. Okay, right. P 300 and 400, 500. Quantity supply 0, 100 and 200. So this is the schedule. We call it supply schedule. Okay. By using this supply schedule, you are going to derive the supply equation. QS equal A plus BP. Okay, A plus BP. First of all, you are going to find the value for the B. Okay, find the value for the B. B equal delta QS divided by delta P. Right. Delta QS means the difference of this one. It is 100 always. 100. Okay. So then what about the delta P? Delta P, it is just, it also 100. It also 100. So now you can identify there is no value for the B. Sorry, just one. 100 divided by 1, it is must be 1. Okay, right, just 1. But we are not going to represent it. Why? So in mathematics, if you write x, that means 1x. x කියලා ලිව්වොත් ඔයා ලියන්නේ 1x කියන එක නෙවෙයි ලියන්නේ. power 1 divided 1. ඔක්කොම තියෙනවා. x කියලා ලිව්වහම ඔක තියෙනවා. අපි ඕවා ලියන්නේ නැහැ. තියෙනවා කියලා මතක තියාගන්න. right? එතන මම p කියලා ලිව්වොත් විතරක් ලිව්වොත් ඒක ඉස්සරහ එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා මතක තියාගන්න. ඕනනම් තමයි අපි 2x කියලා ලියන්නේ. Okay, right. Now we identify the b value is just only 1, right? So then there is no values. So then we are going to put values for the qs and p selected value. I am going to select this option. There are 3 options is here, but I'm going to use this one, this option. Okay, the quantity of supply is just 100 quantities. We don't have any idea about the value of for the A, right? B is just 1 and P is 400, right? Okay, right. Then 100 equal A plus 400 multiplied by 1 equal 400. So then 100, we are going to change the direction of plus 400 into minus 400. So it equal to A. Minus 300 equal to A. Right? So we got the value for the A and B. Now we can derive the supply equation. QS equal minus 300 plus P. Why? We are not going to put the value for the B because it is already 1.
Yes.
In front of the P, there must be a 1. No need to put the value. Okay, this is the equation. Are you okay with that one?
Yes.
Okay, right. So then sometime, then you can identify sometime the value for the A mean when the price equal to 0, the amount of the supply, the value of the A can be plus value, or sometime it can be negative value, or sometime it can be 0 values. Yes, if supply curve start from the 0 point, the value for the A must be 0. Okay, that's the difference. Sometimes it can be 0, positive value, negative value, anything can be happen. Don't worry about that one. Okay, in the scenario related to the demand, it can be changed, but the supply amount, it can be different from, because the supply theory is different from the demand theory. That is why it happened. Okay, right. So again, we have to identify very important things. Are you okay with this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. We can, let's move to the change in supply amount and change in supply. Okay, sound is similar, but the scenario is different. Okay, changing supply. Changing quantity supply. Some questions will be there related to that. Right. Changing quantity supply mean, I will describe that by using a curve. Okay. Changing supply. In here, you have to identify the determinants or factors which affect to changing quantity supply and changing supply. Okay, this is first of all I'm going to describe the changing quantity supply. Okay, right. So this is the supply curve. Okay, right. In here, I'm going to put this two types of value. This is we call it A, and this one it is B. Okay. Right. This is 10 rupees and this is 20 rupees. This is 100 quantities and this is 200 quantities. Right. The supply point of the certain organization change B to A or A to B. So then now you can identify there is no change in the supply curve. There is no shipment upward or backward shipment from the curve, but the certain point can be changed. This is the meaning of quantity change. Changing quantity supply. Okay. So what are the factors related to the changing quantity supply? Just only one factor is there. Price. Factor is price. According to the change in the price, the quantity amount, supply amount can be changed. So that's the meaning of changing quantity supply. In here, other factors are remaining constant. Others remain constant. Other factors are remaining constant. Okay, only one factor is going to change, that is price. That's the meaning of changing quantity supply. Okay, right. With that one, I'm going to describe changing supply. Okay, changing supply. This is change in supply. This represents the price, this represents the quantity. And I will draw the two type of three or three curves. Okay. Right. Just consider the price of this certain commodity is not going to change. Okay. Price is price not going to change. This is the price. 20 rupees. But the curve can shift upward or backward. I will label that first one is S1, second one is S2, this F2, this side. Okay, back upward shipment. Okay. So this is the nature of changing supply. In changing supply, price is constant. Okay, price constant. Other factors are volatile. Other factors can be changed. Directly opposite side of this one. Directly opposite side of the changing quantity limit. හරියටම විරුද්ධ පැත්තනේ. අරක වෙනස් වුනේ price එක අනිත් ඒවා ස්ථාවරයි. මේකේ වෙනස් වෙන්නේ අනිත් ඒවා price එක ස්ථාවරයි. So as an example, just consider when the price is stable situation, government provide subsidy to the producer. Then what will happen to the producer? They encourage to produce more and more commodity for the entire community. This is 200. It definitely changed into the 400. Okay. introduce subsidy or cut down the or reduce the tax also can be identified as one of the major activity, right? It also will be a major factor. එහෙම වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. දැන් ටැක්ස් එකක් දීලා තිබුණා. ඒ හින්දා ඩිස්කරේජ් වෙනවා. හැබැයි අපි ටැක්ස් එක මොකද කරන්නේ? වැඩි කරනවා. අඩු කරනවා. ටැක්ස් එක අඩු කරපු ගමන් එයා එන්කරේජ් වෙනවා. ඒ තමයි මෙතන තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නේ. හරිද? right. Okay. So then you have to identify changing supply. The reason behind changing supply is other factors change. The cost of the production reduce. What happened? In a price stable situation, quantity can be changed. Okay. Other factors going to be changed. That is why supply curve shift upward or backward. Upward shift, backward shift. We have to identify those things. Okay. So then now we identify the difference between changing quantity supply and changing supply. Okay. Basically, you have to identify the reason behind that situation. It is very important. Okay. Reasons and the curves. It is very important. Right. Okay. Now we can identify the elasticity of supply. Okay. I will increase the speed. Okay, because already we discussed the elasticity of demand. There's no much more difference between those two. Okay, that is why I'm going to increase the speed. Right. I'm not going to discuss one by one. Each and everything we'll discuss in same situation. Okay, right. This is the meaning of elasticity of supply. Now we are going to discuss about elasticity of supply. So in here, you identify that equation related to the supply. QS equal A plus BP. In here also, I'm going to divide this equation into two categories. First one is in this part, I mean left side, it is dependent factors. Dependent variable, we call it dependent variable, I mean dependent factor. In the right side, we always represent the independent variable, independent factor. Independent factor can be changed. According to change in the independent factor, the response of the dependent variable is the meaning of elasticity. According to change in the independent factor, the response of the depending factor, we call it elasticity. Okay, already discussed about that one, elasticity. So how we can calculate the elasticity? There are two types of methodologies which you can use. Point elasticity, it is similar, we already discussed that. We are going to represent that elasticity of supply by PESOES. Okay, elasticity of supply, delta QS divided by delta P multiplied by P divided by QS. This is the point elasticity. You can calculate the elasticity coefficient related to the one prices, certain prices. And arc elasticity also will be here. It calculated by ES equal delta QS divided by delta P multiplied by P1 plus P2 and QS1 plus QS2. So those are the two methodology which you can use to calculate the elasticity of the supply. Okay. If you are going to calculate the 1 point, certain prices, just when the price equal to 20, so what's the elasticity supply? It is very easy to use point elasticity. If you are going to calculate the elasticity of supply in straight line, something like that one, straight line, in the 1 point, so you have to use point elasticity. If you are going to calculate the elasticity of supply within 2 points, as example within A and within B point, you have to use arc elasticity. Sometimes supply curve can be changed. It's not a straight line sometimes. Okay, it is not practical, but so those are the things which you can. Those are the method which you can use to that kind of certain point. I mean arc elasticity. It is similar to the demand elasticity, isn't it? Yes. Only one change is QS. QS. Other things are similar. Yes, right. Now let's move to the categories related to the price elasticity of supply. What are the categories? We can identify 5 categories are there. Okay. First one is
So are they the
perfect.
same?
Yes.
They are the same names from the demand thing, like perfect
Yes.
inelastic.
Same name. Same. Okay. Perfect elasticity. Perfect elasticity of supply. The changing point is only supply. Okay. 2 is elastic supply. 3 is unique elastic. 4th one is
Inelastic.
inelastic. Okay. 5th one is perfect inelastic. It is similar. Okay. So what about the coefficient? I mean the value for the ES. If unique, always it must be equal to 1. Equal to 1. Right? So what will happen perfect elasticity? It infinity. S must be equal to infinity. It is similar to the perfect elasticity of demand. So what will happen perfect? Sorry, that's the point perfect elasticity, isn't it? Yes. Es equal to infinity. Right, sorry. This one is equal to perfect inelastic. Perfect inelastic. Perfect inelastic with there is no response.
Yeah, 0.
So it must be 0. Okay. So what happened to the elastic supply? Elastic supply. S must be the value must more than 1. More than 1. Sorry, the difference. More than 1. Like that one. Okay. So inelastic ES value, okay, must be less than 1. So this is the point where you can identify them. So in here you have to identify the shape of the curve. That is the most valuable things. You already identify the name and the coefficient value. It is similar to the demand structure. So there is no difference. But you know that the relationship between price and quantity demand is different from the relationship between price and quantity supply. So that is why the shape of the curve different from the demand curve. If you can identify the shape of the curve relatively different type of elasticity, that is enough. Okay, right. First of all, we are going to discuss about perfect inelastic supply. Perfect inelastic. When you heard that word, perfect inelastic, then you have to realize that Perfect inelastic mean there is no any response from the quantity of supply relatively change in the price. Okay. There's no any response. If there is no any response, what will happen to the shape of the curve? It is something like that one. It is parallel line to the price axis. It is parallel line to the price axis. Quantity always 200 can be changed 10 to 20, 20 to 30, but no any response from the quantity of supply. Always values. So then if supply curve parallel line to the price axis, it represents the perfect inelastic supply. And the coefficient value for the perfect inelastic supply, it is always 0. 0 represents that there is no response. Okay. Right. This is the things you have to identify in here. And next we discuss about inelastic. Inelastic. Inelastic means there must be response. And the coefficient always
less than
1. Less than 1. Okay, right. This is the price axis. This is the quantity axis. And what will happen to the curve? It is something like that. Like that. Okay. The change of the quantity is less value than the price. I will change that. Okay. Something like that one is suitable. Okay. Right. This is the price change to 20 to 40. 20 to 40 means 100% change. Okay. But the quantity is not going to change, something like that. 100 to 150. That means 50% change. Okay. Right. The amount of change, quantity amount, taking less value than the price changes. Percentage. The percentage change of the price. Okay. Percentage change of the price take greater value than the percentage change of the quantity supply. That's the difference. Always it must be something like that. That is how you can get the values less than the 1. Okay. If you are going to calculate that value, your value must be 0 point something like that. Is there any questions? No. Okay. Person any?
No.
Okay. Right. I'm going to speed up because of we already discussed all those things. Okay. Right. Third one is unique. Unique means unitary or unique elastic. In that time, elasticity equal to coefficient always equal to 1. Okay. The curve start from the 0 point and 45 degrees in here. 45 degrees and start from the 0 point and 45 degrees. That curve values is 90. Okay, 90 value divided into 2. So then it is 45 value. If you are going to consider about the change in price and change in quantity, this is 10 to 20. This also 10 to 20. Similar values. That means quantity supply values and quantity price value percentage similar. Then always answer must be 1. That is why equal to 1. අපිට මේ percentage සමානයි. මේ දෙපැත්තම percentage සමානයි. Okay. Do not worry about the values. Just consider about the percentage value. If price change to 10 to 20, quantity change 100 to 20, it is similar. Because we are going to consider only about the percentage change, not about the values. Right? Fourth one. We have to discuss about elastic. Elastic. Opposite side of the inelastic. So then what happened to the curve? Curve something like that. This one. Something like that curve. Percentage change in the price take less value, but the quantity respond more value. Okay, something like that one. Percentage change in the price take less value than percentage change in the supply. This is the difference. Okay, in here you can identify this is a change of prices. Okay, but this is the response of the quantity supply. It takes greater value than the prices. That is why it coefficient take a greater value than the 1, something like that. Okay, final one, it is perfect elastic.
Yes.
Perfect elastic. Perfect elastic. This is the price axis and this is the quantity axis. So this is the supply curve. Supply curve always will be the parallel line to the horizontal axis or quantity axis. So then there is no change in the prices. Quantity can be changed 0 to infinity. Okay, quantity can be changed 0 to infinity without changing the prices. That's the difference. So then you can identify there is no change in the prices, but only change in the quantity supply. So coefficient always must be equal infinity. That means you cannot calculate the values. Okay, there's no exact value. Definitely the value must be greater than the 1. Yes, we know that. Okay, so those are the things. Okay, right, you identify the 5 categories related to the price elasticity of supply. It is similar to the quantity demand, but in here the relationship between price and the quantity supply is different from quantity demand. Positive value. According to that positive value, the shape of the curve also can be changed. Yes, we already identified that. Okay, just try to identify the coefficient value. Okay, and the shape of the supply curve. Those are very important. Name, coefficient value, and the shape of the curve. It is similar to the demand. Okay, name, category, coefficient value, shape of the demand curve. It's very important because each and every questions contain with that knowledge. If you cannot identify the commodity features and the commodity behavior, you cannot create the better quality answer. That is why it is very important. We already identify some question related to that one. It only represents coefficient value. Then you have to identify the behavior. It's very important. Okay, right. Now we are going to discuss about some important factors. That mean the factors effect to create the elasticity of supply. What are the factors effect to create the elasticity of supply? Why elasticity of supply change 0 to infinity? Why elasticity of supply change in 0 to infinity? So what are the reasons behind that one? Okay. First one is factor mobility. Factor mobility. Factor mobility. අපි මේකට සිංහලෙන් කියන සාධක සංචලනය කරනවා කියලා කියනවා. Factor mobility. I will describe that by using example. Okay, factor mobility. So just consider one of the farmer produce paddy. To produce paddy, you need he need production factors. Okay, land, some equipments, some machineries, seeds, something like that. Okay. Suddenly, in the next monsoon season, he is going to change the production from paddy to corn. Okay, from paddy to corn. But no need to change in the land. Same land, same equipments, same machineries, but seeds can be changed. Okay, same equipments. මෙයාට මේ V හද හිටපු කෙනාට බඩේරුඟු හදන්න යන්න එයාගේ ෆැක්ටර් චේන්ජ් කරන්න ඕනේ මහලුකු දේ. ඒ බිමම පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ උපකරණ ටිකම පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ ට්‍රැක්ටරේම මැෂින් එකම පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ සීඩ්ස් එක වෙනස් වෙනවා. ටයිම් පීරියඩ් වෙනස් වෙනවා. ඒක හරියි. නමුත් ෆැක්ටර් වෙනස් කරන්න පුළුවන්. Then you can identify without any hesitation, he can change the factors one production to another production. Okay, he can use same production factor to produce different commodities. That's the meaning of factor mobility. Okay, if you can change the factors, or if you got factor mobility, you can change the quantity of supply according to change in the price, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. That's the reason. But just consider, ABC company produce only motorboat. Can he produce another production? No, he cannot produce. Why? His entire production process and industry, each and everything related to the motorboat production. His machineries, equipments, workers, ability, training, each and everything is related to the motorboat production. He cannot produce some motor vehicle. He cannot produce that. So that's the difference. So this kind of situation we cannot identify, unable to factor mobility, unable to change the factors. There's no factor mobility, something like industry. There's no factor mobility in the service. මම කරන්නේ උගන්නන එකනේ. මට මේව කරන්න බෑ. දැන් මේක ප්‍රැක්ටිස් කරලා මේව කර ඉඳලා මම ඔයා වෙන ජොබ් එකකට ගියොත් පිස්සු වගේ හැදේ. එහෙම කරන්න බෑ මට. අපි කරලා තියෙන්නේ ඒකනේ. අපිට දැන් ඔෆිස් එක උදේ 8 ඉඳන් එක තැන ඉන්න බෑ දැන්. අපිට ඕන කියවන්න. අපිට මොන හරි කියලා දෙනවා. අපි නැගිටලා කියගෙන ලිය වෙනවා මේවා කරනවා. ඒක අපි එහෙම. අපිට දැන් තැනක ගිහිල්ලා ඉන්නවත් බෑ. පැය දෙකක් තුනක් අහගෙන ඉන්නවත් බෑ. So you can identify in service and industry, factor mobility is very hard to do that. But in agriculture, it is very easy to do that. Okay, some agriculture production, it is very easy to do that one. Agriculture වල බොහොම ලේසියි ඔය වැඩේ කරන්න. factor mobility කරන්න පුළුවන් පටස් ගන්න. මේ පාර වට්ටක් හදලා ඊට පස්සේ වෙන බණ්ඩක් හදනවා කියන එක මහ ලොකු වැඩක් නෙමෙයි. ලොකු වැඩක් නෙමෙයි. factor mobility කරන්න පුළුවන්. So then if you got the factor mobility, you can change the quantity of supply according to change in the price. So then what happened to the elasticity? It must be elastic. If there is no factor mobility, your production quantity cannot be changed. So then it become inelastic. So that's the reason. Okay. Next one. Next factor is time. Right. Sometimes some production take much more time to produce. So some production take 3 months or 4 months to produce that particular commodity. According to change in sudden prices, you cannot change the production. It's unable to do that. Price එක වෙනස් වුණා කියලා මාස ගාණක් හදාගෙන එකපාර වෙනස් කරන්න පුළුවන්. බෑනේ. So just consider some production, no need much more time. Within 2 hours, he can produce good and service, that production. So if they got that kind of ability, according to change in the price, he can change the quantity of supply. The ability was there. Time also one of the major factor we have to concern. Production time, okay? Not a change time. Production time period is one of the major factor which we can change the quantity of supply according to change in the price. I mean price, yes, quantity supply changes. I mean elasticity of supply. Okay, one of the determinants. Sometimes it can be changed. And next one is capacity of store, storage capacity. Okay, so you produce, so just consider ABC company produce X commodity. This ABC company got capacity of storage. He produced 500 commodities for the 1 month, January. 500 also similar to February also. But in January, we say storage 300, only 2 imposed to the market, supply to the market, and 3. Suddenly, price increase in February. And suddenly he can change the quantity of supply into the 500, 600, 700, 800. Suddenly he can change according by using that storage capacity. According to the availability or price changes and profitability activity, he can change the supply suddenly by using their capacity of storage. That's very important fact. Then අපි හිතමු සමහර ඒවා capacity නෑනේ, සමහර ඒවා storage කරන්න බෑ. Some production cannot store. As example, just consider about dairy production commodities, yogurts. We cannot storage it. Within 2 weeks, you have to do it. Everything. සති දෙකෙන් මොනවා හරි කරලා විකුණන්න. ඔය storage කර සති ගණන් මාස ගණන් fridge වල තියන්න ඉඳ හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක production date එකක් තියෙනවා, expire date එකක්. ඊට කලින් විකුණන්න ඕනේ. So we cannot destroy those. Okay. So then you cannot change the quantity of supply according to sudden change in the market. So හොඳටම තේරෙනවා මේ දැහි දවස්වලට yogurt කන එක මොකද කරන්නේ? අඩු කරනවානේ. අඩු කරනවා. අයිස්ක්‍රීම් කන එකත් අඩු කරනවා. කිරි බොන එකත් අඩු කරනවා. ඔය dairy production වල තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නේ තමයි ඒගොල්ලන්ට අර supply එක මේ අර forecast කරන්න හරි අමාරුයි. ඒ කියන්නේ උඩ දේවල් විසික් කරනවා. හරිද? ඔය yogurt හදන company වලට තියෙන මූලිකම ප්‍රශ්නේ තමයි they cannot forecast the market. Okay, they cannot forecast the weather condition, especially according to the weather condition change, the quantity of demand suddenly change, but already they produce it. So this is the problem they are facing day to day. Islam University එකෙන් අයින් වෙලා හිටියේ මේ මොකමලේ milk production එකේ. එතකොට මම දැකලා තියෙනවා තමාර දවසල කිරි පැකට් ආපහු ඔක්කොම එන 3 days එකවා තියෙනවා. 1 day 3 day පැක්. කපලා මෙහෙම කපලා අර යන කානුවට දානවා කියලා. යන මාර පාඩුවක් ඒක මේ. එතකොට තමයි තේරුනේ ඇත්තට මාකට් එක කියන්නේ ඔච්චර ඉගෙන ගත්තට ඒවා තේරුනේ නෑ. ඒකට ඔයා ප්‍රෙඩික්ට් කරේ නැත්තම් වෙන විනාශ කොච්චරයිද කියලා. ඌ ස්ටෝරේජ් කරගෙන ට්‍රාන්ස්පෝර්ට් කරගෙන රට හැමතැනින්ම එකතු කරගෙන ඉන්න දේවල් ප්‍රොඩියුස් කරලා කව එකත් අරගෙන මැෂින් හරහා මේවා කරලා අන්තිමට කපලා විසි කරනවා. මෙහෙම ගිරිය ඕම ගලාගෙන යන ඔක්කොම. යෝගට් වලට වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? ඉතින් අර ස්ටෝරේජ් කැපැසිටි පුළුවන් ඒවා ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. තියාගෙන විකුණනවා. නැති ඒවට පුදුම ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙන්නේ. ඒක මේ හරි අමාරුයි. එහෙම කරන්න ප්‍රෙඩික්ට් කරන්න බෑනේ. කාලගුණය කියන්න බෑ. අද්ද වහිද කියන්න බෑ. කොළඹට වහිනේ කියන්න පුළුවන්. බෑනේ මේ කරකට චේන්ජ් වෙනවා. සමහර පැති නම් දන්නවා වහින කාලේ මේ කාට වහින්නේ සමහර පැති වල වහින්නේ නැති මේ කාට කියන දන්නවා අපි ඒක. හැබැයි වෙස්ටර්න් ප්‍රොවින්ස් එකේ එහෙම කියන්න බෑ. මේ අර මුහුදත් එක්ක සඩන් චේන්ජ් වෙනවනේ. එතකොට ඉතින් මේ වැඩිපුරම ඉන්නේ සෙනගක් ඉන්නේ වෙස්ටර්න් ප්‍රොවින්ස් එකේ හින්දා ඒකේ තමයි ක්වොන්ටිටි එක තීරණය වෙන්නේ ඇත්තටම. ඕන ප්‍රොඩක්ෂන් එක. ඉතින් පාඩු විඳින්න වෙනවා. එහෙම ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා. හරි. Next one is nature of commodity. Nature of commodity. It also can be changed. Okay. Because of nature of commodity, something like that. Just consider about the expiry date. Expiry date. Some commodity doesn't have expiry date, isn't it? So just consider about the pen you are going to use to write something. Is there any expiry date of that pen? No. Okay. So then you can produce goods and services without considering the price of the commodity. Because someday you can sell it. Okay. Future day, there will be an opportunity to sell it. But if you are going to produce with the production with this expiry date, you have to sell it before the expire. So then you have to consider about that. So nature of the commodity always affect to change the quantity of supply. Okay. Nature of the commodity කියන එක. කියන්නේ මේ commodity එකේ තියෙන මොකක්ද ඒ commodity එක කියන එක මත ඒක මේක විකුණන්න පුළුවන්ද බෑද ඒක expire වෙනවද නැද්ද කියන එක මත එහෙනම් මොන commodity එකක්ද කියන එක මත අපිට supply එක change කරන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට industrial production අපි තුම agriculture production change කරන්න බෑ. දැන් අපි වී නිෂ්පාදනය කරන්න බීම් සකස් කරලා ඔක්කොම කරලා වී හදුවට පස්සේ price එක අඩු වෙනවා කියලා බලලා ආයෙ මගදී මාරු කරන්න බෑ. ඉවසගෙන ඉන්න වෙනවා මාස 4ක් යනකම්. Whether it is profitability or not, you have to sell it. Nothing to do. That's the nature of commodity. But in industrial production, you can suddenly change it. If you have mobility, factor mobility, change ability, so then you can change the production according to this. So that is why each and every producers produce not only one production. He got plenty of production, varieties of the production, varieties of the production. When I'm working in the Kodmale, their production got some varieties: yogurt, 1 day milk pack, 3-month milk tetra milk pack, milk powder, and ice cream, ghee, cheese, many production. දැන් සමහර කාලවල අපි දන්නවා වැහි කාලවල යෝගට් ඊට පස්සේ කිරි පැඩ් ඒව ප්‍රොඩියුස් කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ කිරි වලින් කරන්නේම චීස් හදන එක වැඩි කරනවා, අයිස්ක්‍රීම් හදන එක වැඩි කරනවා, ghee හදන එක වැඩි කරනවා. ඒව අවුරුදු ගණන් කල් තියලා තියන්න පුළුවන්. ප්‍රශ්න නෑ ඒක. ඒතර අර ප්‍රොඩක්ෂන් එකට ගන්න ෆැක්ට් එක විනාශ වෙන්නේ. කොස්ට් එකක් විතරනේ. නැත්නම් අපිට මේක ප්‍රොඩියුස් කරලා ස්ටෝරේජ් කරලා හිමීට අපිට බෙදා හරින්න පුළුවන්. කොහොමද අයිස්ක්‍රීම් එක කවුරුද තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. In the question. So the nature of the commodity also will be a major factor. Right. So those are the factors which we can identify as a determinants for the change the elasticity of supply, factor mobility, time period, capacity of storage, nature of the commodity. Okay, those are the factors. Right, now we have to consider about the equilibrium. That is enough for the supply. We already discussed about demand. Okay, and supply. Right, and then we have to consider both topics together as equilibrium of the market. We call it market equilibrium. Okay, we already discussed about QD equal PP and QS equal A plus BP. So now we have to identify the equilibrium position. So what do you mean by the equilibrium position? Equilibrium position means the price and the quantity, both sellers and buyers are willing to buy and sell equal their expectations and agree to the exchange goods and services. That's the point we call it equilibrium point. As example, if you are going to identify the equilibrium in curves, so this is the demand curve and this is the supply curve. And this is the equilibrium position, where supply amount and demand amount equal, where supply price and demand price equal. We call it equilibrium. So then what happened to the quantity demand and quantity supply? It also must be equal. This equilibrium position can be identified by using curves, equations, and schedules also. So just consider, we are going to discuss about this equilibrium by using a schedule. This is the price. This is the schedule related to the QD, same commodity, okay? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, QD 150, 125, and 100, and 75, and 50. So this is the negative relationship between price and quantity supply. Okay, this is the quantity supply. It is 50, 75, 100, 125, and 150. So now you can identify when the price is equal to 30, what happened? Quantity supply and quantity demand taking similar values. Similar quantity. Okay. This is the meaning of equilibrium position. If you are referring the schedule for the demand and supply, you can identify the equilibrium. Can you find the demand equation and supply equation for this schedule? Okay. පුළුවන් නේද fan? පරස්කල් හොයලා කියන්න බන්න මට QD QS equation දෙක.
So I need help with the quantity demand equation thing.
Quantity demand equation. Okay, take first of all QD equal A minus BP. So then calculate the value for the B.
Yes.
I mean delta QD divided by delta P.
Yes.
So just consider about the delta QD values. Difference is just 25.
Oh.
150 to 125, 100, something like that. Delta P mean the difference of 2 point of prices. It is just 10 rupees. And divided 25 divided by 10, it is just 2.5. Okay. Right, 2.5. So then that means B value is 2.5. So just take one option from this demand schedule. I will take first option. Okay. I will take first option. Okay. First option. Quantity demand is 150 equal A minus B value is just 2.5. Price value is just 10. Okay. Right. Then 150 equal to A minus 2.5 multiplied by 10. It is just 25. Okay. Right. Alright.
All right.
මොකද්ද ගැටලුව එතන තියෙන්නේ?
නැස මම ඩෙල්ටා QD එක ඩෙල්ටා P එක ඒක මික්ස් කරලා ඊළඟට බෙදා
මේ පැත්තේ QD එක ගන්න කැමති එකක් ගන්න ඒක ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. හැබැයි කැමති එක මෙතනින් එකක් අරගෙන 125 මෙතනින් එකක් ගන්න එපා. ඒතකොට වැරදි.
තේරුණ I can අර
ක්‍රොස් කරන්න එපා.
okay.
මෙහෙම සේම් වැලියු එකම ගන්න. ක්‍රොස් කරොත් එහෙම වැරදි උත්තරයක් එන්නේ. Okay. So then minus 25 මෙතන තියෙන්නේ 150 නේද? ඒ ප්ලස් කරන්න පුළුවන්. ප්ලස් A ඒකන තියෙන්නේ plus 25 equal to A. So then 175 equal to A. හරිනේ? now මෙතන 175. Right. Then equation is QD equal 175 minus 2.5P. Right? Right. ඒක හරි නේද? Okay, let's move to the supply curve. Supply equation QS equal A plus BP. B mean delta QS divided by delta P. Delta QS means the difference of supply. It also similar to 25. 25. Price changes just 10. B equal to 2.5. So then just take one option. I will take the first option. I mean 50 and 10. Okay. Quantity is just 50. A plus 2.5 multiplied by 10. Okay. 50 equal A plus 2.5 multiplied by 10, it is just 25. And 50 minus 25 equal to A. Then 25 equal to A. QS equal 25 plus 2.5 P. මේක හරිද? එහෙනම් ඔන්න equation දෙක හොයාගන්න. So if you got the two types of equation, so now it is easy to identify the equilibrium position by using two equations. When the equation is there, quantity demands must be equal to the quantity supply. So that's the theory. When the equilibrium is there, quantity demand must be equal to quantity supply. So quantity demand represented by using QD equation. That means 175 minus 2.5 P. Okay. Quantity supply represented by using quantity equation. So that means 25 plus 2.5 P. Right. So we have to use this one. Next step is second step equation. Just separate the values. similar values into the similar part. Okay, 175. Just take the 25 value into the next. It become minus 25. Okay. Right. 2.5 P is there. Minus 2.5. Change the direction into the plus 2.5. Okay. Are you okay with this step? Okay. Right. So this value 175 minus 25, it means 150. 2.5 must plus 2.5 is just 5. Right. So then 150 all divided by the 5. So then we can take the value for the P. 1, 1, 30. So price must be equal to 30. So equilibrium price is 30. So now you got the value for the price, equilibrium price. Then nothing to worry in here. You can use this price, okay, to calculate the quantity, demand and quantity supply. So get the quantity demand equation. QD equals 175 minus 2.5 P. Put the value for the P. Okay. Put the value. Value for the P is just 30. Okay. That means 30 multiplied by 2.5. Okay. QD equal 175. 2.5 multiplied by 30. It is just 75. Okay. So then what happened to the quantity demand? It become 100. Okay. No need to use the two equation. If you can put the value for the demand equation, it is okay. If you can put the value for the supply equation, it also equal. But answer must be 100. As example, just consider QS equal to 25 plus 2.5 P. QS equal to 25 plus 2.5 multiplied by 30. And QS equal to 25 plus 75. So QS also 100. Similar answer. Similar answer. Okay. So then let's move to this one. Your schedule. This schedule. So this is the schedule. Okay. P got the value for the fee is just 30. It's okay, right? Quantity demand and quantity supply, similar. Okay. So it is very easy to calculate the equilibrium position of the commodity by using equations. In paper, question paper, you have to calculate the equilibrium by using equation, not from the schedule. And the curves. Now let's move to the curve. Okay, let's move to the curve. Similar question. I will proceed with the similar question that is easy to identify. Okay. Right. Quantity QD equation is 75. 175. 175 minus 2.5 P and QS equal 25, isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't 25.2.5? So those are the two activity. So then I'm going to use these two equations to represent the equilibrium by using curves. Okay. Then sketch the curve. This is price. This is quantity. Okay. Now QD equation. QD equal 175 minus 2.5. So then assume that P equal to 0, then calculate what happened to the quantity demand. Okay. And assume that QD equal to 0, take the value for the prices. So just consider P equal to 0. That means in here, this P is equal to 0. So 2.5 multiplied by 0.
Is
It is 0. So then QD become
175.
175. Yes. So then QD equal 0. That means 0 equal to 175 minus 2.5 P. So then just change the direction. That means 2.5 P equal to 175. That means P equal 175 divided by 2.5. How much?
70.
70. 175 divided by 2.5. 70. Yes. Less than 70. Okay. Now by using this data, you can draw the line for the demand. Okay. P equal to 0 and it must cross the 175. P, this is the P equal to 0, cross the 175. This one. Are you okay with that one?
Yes.
Yes. And QD equal to 0, it cross the 70. QD is 0 and 70. So this is the 2 points. So now you can draw the line. This point to this point. This is the demand curve. Okay. So then take the next, QS. QS equal 25 plus 2.5 P. Okay. So just assume that P equal to 0 and find the value for the QS. And next, assume QS equal to 0 and find the value for the P. So just consider P is equal to 0. 0 multiplied by 2.5 equal to 0. QS become
25.
25. Okay, that means P equal to 0, quantity demand equal to 25. 25 means in here something like that one, 25. Okay. So then QS becomes 0. QS 0 equal to 25 plus 2.5 here. So this is the very important factor. So just consider all values are plus values. So then now we have nothing to do. Change the direction of 25. It become minus 25. Minus 25 equal to 2.5 P. Divided both side by the 2.5. 2.5. Okay. 1, just 10. Okay. 10. Isn't it?
Yes.
10. Minus 10. Because this is minus value. So then P value is minus 10. So put the value minus 10. So QD equal to 0, it is minus 10. Minus 10 is here. So then curve must be something like that. Something like that. Okay, this is the supply curve. So equilibrium is here. The crossing point where the demand curve cross the supply curve. So then price must be how much? 30. We already calculated.
Yes.
Quantity must be 100. This is the equilibrium. දැන් මෙතන ඉඳන් කැල්කියුලේෂන් කරන්න තව ඒවා තියෙනවා ටැක්ස් කියයි සබ්සිඩි කියයි චේන්ජින් කියයි මේවා ඊට පස්සේ economic surpluses, consumer surplus, producer surplus, changing government policies, effect on the consumer, tax burden, supplier tax burden, many things to calculate from this point. But you have to calculate this one very clearly. If you miss something into that point, other answers also will be wrong. If you can calculate, you can grab the 100% marks without any hesitation. It's very easy. දැන් මේ වගේ ලොකු දේවල් කරන්න නෑනේ. calculation එක කරගෙන යන්න තියෙන්නේ. හැබැයි එහෙම calculation කරාම හරිය ලේසි මේ වැඩි. හරි. practice කරන්න චුට්ටක් බලන්න වැරදුනොත් එහෙම මොනවා හරි දේවල් දෙනවා මම recording එක දාන්නම් මේ LMS එකට අපහු බලන්න. සී ප්‍රශ්න ඕනම තාවක් බලන්න පුළුවන් LMS එකේ ඒවා use කරන්න. calculation ඉස්සරහට එනවා. එතකොට ඒවා ගොඩක් වෙලාවට LMS එකේ recording බලන්න. අපහු සල්ලි වියදම් වෙන්නේ ඔය recording එක බලන්න කියලා මේ මොකද මේ ඒවා ඔක්කොම YouTube data විදියට තමයි පේන්නේ.
ඒ රෙකෝඩින්ග් වල එක්ස්පයර් ඩේට් එකක් තියෙන එක වැලිඩ් නෑනේ ඒක
expire date එකක් තියෙන එක වෙනස් කරන්න පුළුවන්. expire date එකක් නැතුව recording දාන්න බෑ මේක. ඒකයි මම දාලා තියෙන්නේ. ඔයා ඕන කාලයක් කියන්නේ තව දික් කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක ප්‍රශ්නේ නෑ. recording අර expire date එකක් නැතුව recording දාන්න බෑ. ඒකයි හිම දාලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒකින්ද මම ඉස්සරහට දාන්න තව ඉස්සරහට ඕන තරම් මාස ගණනක් ඉස්සරහට දාන්න ඒක කිසි ගැටලුවක් නෑ. right. අපි අදට එනම් මෙතෙන් අතරකම හෙට ඉඳන් අපි මේ calculation ටික ඉතුරු ටික හෙට කරමු.
yes
right.
yes
right. එහෙනම් good night.
very
Thank you.
good answer thank you